A conversation with the soul guardian, a new masterwork, the message from a spiritual being. I have long been waiting for the next meeting with the soul guardian, and because it is him who decides when it is the time to tell us the information, so I was patient. I lay down for meditation to ask about crucial things, but I received the next gift, an ability to extend the potential to help more and more people that are led to us, and also wonderful meetings with numerous beautiful beings who create the spiritual world. Christmas is indeed the time filled with power of respect and love sent through us to the height above, and thanks to this you can connect with a lot of beings that have enough energy to be visible to us and visit us. And plenty of angels are back on the earth in the human bodies. They look into our hearts again. They help us understand that the good is pure beauty, no matter what its gown. It will always be recognized by those who do not feed their minds but their hearts in their lives. The following conversation with the soul guardian, Jesus, is about feeding our hearts. When I was connected with my soul and the energetic being I have a contact with, and we were talking while looking down at the earth, a light bluish portal opened above us, and in the beautiful, wonderful light, Jesus descended to us. He said, "You are just watching a beautiful picture, and I'll show you how to create a masterpiece." Then I was taken beyond universes, into the spiritual world, where there are lots of wonderful beings, souls enjoying his company, where the source and its energy is everywhere, and so close and strong that the tears of emotion are pouring themselves on the cheek. Smile is present on the face all the time, and the only thought that fills up is to stay here forever. I asked, "Why am I here where I feel I'd wish to be forever?" He replied, "After all, you all have this light and these colors within yourselves. But many of you have forgotten what true heart is, what heart needs, and what its food is. Many have forgotten that the heart also needs as much energy for life as the mind does. So many of you do feed only mind and reason, and the heart is treated only as an ordinary organ. Too many have forgotten to have souls, to be painters of their own space. What you see now is a picture being painted with the heart, and what you see back on the earth is the picture painted mostly by the mind. You are given animals, plants, mountains and seas, meadows and beaches, forests and deserts, for you to see how beautiful and full of love is the picture painted with the Father's hand, and how sad is the picture painted with your minds. Now our Father has painted a new masterpiece, whose fragments He has shown to many beings. He said, "Go and do everything to make this picture visible everywhere." And the beings came down with the fragment of what they saw, with one objective on their minds: to be able to admire the whole masterwork, enjoy it with its beauty, and be able to enter it and use what is given anew. And how should people paint this masterpiece? You have got everything what is needed for painting. Your heart is your paint. Your hands are brushes. It is enough to soak the brush in the paint and start painting with the colors that are within you. What is the color of love? What is the color of respect, of patience, of understanding, of the good, of nobleness, of helping, of hugging, of loving? Go ahead, painting your world, your space with these colors. When you use your heart, Your world is not grey and black anymore. It does not concrete the greenery, does not pollute the blue of the sea with the pitch-black tar. It does not pollute the blue of the sky with chemicals. Then everything starts becoming what it had been painted like in the very beginning. Now, when so many beings' minds painted the world their own style, and when this world has got sad colors, just when instead of joy we can see sorrow and grief, Father has decided to paint everything anew, decided to send out his most splendid brushes, to open the most superb paints and dyes, so that you could appreciate his masterpiece again, and appreciate his grand works and all he does for you. Your hearts and hands, your whole bodies interconnected with one another, will be painting a brand new masterwork. You will be joining each other and uniting to paint over what is sad and dull, what had covered the first masterpiece, this time with lively paints. The earth is your easel. Your world is your canvas. It is enough to open up your hearts, scoop up for some paint from them, and start painting. I asked then, and is it enough for us to start creating this beautiful picture? It is enough that you believe it is possible to free ourselves from the mind domination. After all, you can see for yourselves what your mind has created, how it is fed with every piece of information, how it is contaminated and lacking feelings, how it can destroy any ideas or objects and multiply lies, and how it can be easily programmed and used against you. Why so quickly do you tend to believe in the information for the mind, and so resistantly you believe in and find the information of the heart? Your mind is needed to your body to be able to move around in the picture you are creating, whereas your heart is needed to you to connect the Father's picture with what you have been creating. However, if you separate your heart from you, leaving only the mind, then you are not capable of distinguishing between what is true or false, between information and discrete hand. Then you can see only one picture, your own, yours, and you turn the Father's picture to your own one, subduing it to yourselves and destroying its inner beauty. Hence, in order not to completely ruin the masterpiece you live in, the height above has always sent painters with open hearts, who painted over all those sad colors for you, not to lose sight of the beauty, but to see it and be able to come back to it when you start painting it all anew. Each second of your lives breed possibilities of painting anew, with your paints freshly opened, but you have forgotten about it yet. That is why some other paints and different painters have been sent for you to see the proper, natural colors of the origins, for you to use their paints and use your own hands to paint on more and better. Do not be afraid to use their paints and to paint what you have got inside of you, except for fear, being a sad paint. Do start using the paint of joy, happiness and love, as you can see in your children's drawings. They draw what they see. They draw you and your space when it is sad and grey, such as their drawing of you. When it is beautiful, the colors on their drawings show the world around us as it should be, bright and beautiful. Children are your mirrors. Hearts are your lie detectors. When the mirror is broken and the lie detector is switched off, your picture is sad, and so are your children. So how can they draw a beautiful world when they see around only sad colors? We have been watching it for ages, and for ages have been sending painters. It was also me who had visited you many times and asked you to paint your original, unique world without copying and being envious of others' worlds. That is why you have been receiving so many chances to return here, until you would have understood that each of you is a painter and can paint your own space on your own. How many of you have not been painting anything? How many have been sitting in front of the empty canvas? How many have you not placed the easel yet? How many have still been observing a painting being painted by another person? You may seek excuses for the guilty ones, but it will not change the fact that you keep descending here every time to paint anew, that you need to paint with your heart and faith in colors. Look how many of you have been looking at my paintings in temples, at my reflections in humans, and despite it, they still do not believe that they really exist and that our Father, the perfect painter, exists here too. How many of you have been questioning his work of art? So I asked, what is the reason that the humans got lost so deeply? They simply decided to trust their minds, disconnecting their hearts, to believe in energies that are created by those who feed only the mind and reason, and to stop believing those who give them energies for their hearts. They deafened their soul's voice. They called their assignments and pictures a disaster, harm, bad luck, and an accident. And when their knowledge have not given them happiness, they have found this disappointment a standard, a norm, and a lack of anything more to exist. And how can you understand that there is something more when it is you who have switched off the lie detectors, have disconnected yourselves from your consciousness, intuitions, the voice of your souls? When you started believing that being unhappy is the norm, now you can see why a new masterpiece has been being drawn, why some experienced painters have been sent to be among you, why they have been given the paints and painting possibilities that you have never heard of before. All this for you to help you paint and create anew. How can people tell what is true from what is false? In fact, they have everything they need to do it, but they believed that it's the mind which is the most significant and can distinguish between the true and the false. How can it do that if it needs life energy and each piece of information is such a piece of energy as well? The mind absorbs each piece of information because it is like the air and water for you, like food for the body. However, it does not differentiate anything. It only records everything as it does not know when this can be of any use. That shows that the mind is not the most important element of your body. It is only a complementary item to the whole, which incorporates mind and heart. When you hear a lie said by another mind, and your heart is switched off, then you mindlessly copy that lie, looking for excuses and supplements in order that it exists in your world. You start believing in the lie to be true, and when there appears a painter who can paint this lie over, many of you chase him away, take the brush and paints away from him to stay in the lie, not to admit having been cheated or fooled. Just then, the evil which is fed with your lies and insincerity, seeing the empty canvas, it starts to paint with its own paints, with its hand driven by poisoned mind. You must understand that the evil is fed with lies and can present them to become a norm, and having its own paints and brushes only waits for some painters to start painting. But it is you who decides which paints and which painter is closer to you. It is you who chooses the colors and the profile to be the painter of light or darkness. Please excuse me this question, but yesterday I heard that you had been captured, were a robot, that you were imprisoned, and that there is a race to control everything, including you and the spiritual world. Can you explain where are such news from? And can you see me tied up? Sad? The evil chooses painters, figures out what they need and desire, check if their hearts are open or if they use only minds, and when they see the painters not distinguishing among paints, it gives them paints resembling the ones of a good painter. Then the evil, painting a new picture with a painter's hands and mind, confirms his belief that he paints for the light, and being blinded by his work, he does not notice himself painting with other colors, and even when he meets a good painter and true colors, he refuses the choice, sticking only to his image. And so the evil has a lot of painters who exhibit their paintings to be admired by the similar painters. So it happens with this message. The evil gathered its painters to paint together without knowing what they paint. It looks at their pride and feeds their egos to finish their paintings. And when this happens, many of those watching the paintings will say, "What fine masterpieces!" because a lot of them paint alike, using only their minds. What are these paintings for? They are for you to learn to listen to your hearts, to appreciate them, to appreciate your souls, to believe you are not alone, for you to have a comparison of various painters and to switch on the lie detectors, to dip your brushes in your paints and start painting with colors of light, for you to believe in the good. And just like when you look at the azure of the sea and the blue of the sky, so you scoop up for this color and cover up those shades of black and gray with it. I am not sure if people understand this answer, especially the ones who are those painters. Now, I will answer for them. The evil who sees a human looking only for food for the mind and wanting to be somebody unique and admired, gives him the information, facts, in which the evil participated, puts some being from the dark side beside him, capable of reading his energy and thoughts. When the evil tells a man some true facts which happened or were shown to another man, then this man, being confirmed about the authenticity of the message, starts asking for more information and gets it. Subsequently, having been secured by the evil with a proper position and space to paint, he receives some other kind of information, so-called revelations, which he shares with other people, winning the followers much alike him. And when people start trusting and believing in whatever he will say is an absolute truth, the evil smuggles a picture, the falseness, which has the only objective to cut the people off the truth, off help, off pure, beautiful energy, off the light paint, of their hearts, of their souls. The same happens also with the case of disinformation. Painters do not all understand what they actually paint because they are not aware of the whole masterwork. Yet they love getting applause for their lesser paintings. When their minds are painted over with black, they're left only with the energy given by the evil. I can see that the language of mind makes you filled with sadness. So why don't you explain why the evil is spreading such information about you? It is not sadness, but lack of smile, which is actually returning, and the vibrant laughter of all the accompanying beings is heard. The evil must exist for you to appreciate the good, to distinguish among colors and painters. But now it knows that a new masterpiece has come to existence, where it will not find a place for itself, where there will be no sad colors anymore. That is why the only way to somehow remain at their dark colors would be to use their painters, so that they paint over my paintings and my colors with theirs. They want to confirm people in their belief that painting does not give any results, that it does not make sense, as there is a perfect painter who serves the evil and has a powerful influence on the whole world, where there is me and more beings. Looking at this world, is there a force which can paint it over? Would our perfect painter allow any being to paint himself and his world over? The spiritual world is the most beautiful painting that has ever been created. It cannot be either painted over or destroyed. It can be revived and renovated, repainted, only when the perfect painter asks us for it. But as you can see, we paint this world ourselves with the colors constituting the light. Our Father has created everything so that the place where you can relax with Him is perfect, and no force or being that has dirty intentions and pure love cannot enter it without His permission, cannot destroy or paint it over. It is impossible to disturb the energy that we obtain from this place to help the true painters scattered in the masterpiece. But it is possible to tell the beings that such a place does not exist, that I am mortal, tied up, kidnapped, secretly swapped, that the perfect painter does not exist, that it is them who control everything from a concealment. They can do that, but now it is up to you if you believe in such a picture, or if you look at the blue of the sky, at the light of your sun, and if you admit that someone must have already painted it before, having used so beautiful colors, and thus he could not be an evil being. Virtually everything depends on you and what you want to see and to look at or focus on. I am always with you, and I will be forever, but it is you who determine your own way to me. Let me show you something. We fly down to the ground, and I saw our planet surrounded by a golden protective barrier, connected with people on the earth, but I saw also different colors, which were coming immediately to him, and some other spiritual beings who were standing near us. What are these colorful energies that go through you and other spiritual beings? These are your requests, prayers, desires, thoughts, everything that you create being in the middle of the masterwork. The blue energy is gratitude from you to our Father. This sincere, coming from your heart's thankfulness is the blue of the sky, is your weather on the earth. Well, the less of thanks, the more storms and rain. So do all your best for the sun to shine, and for the rain to be only a complement to the masterwork. The golden color is the energy coming from the heart, and linking other hearts, which you have written about in the blog on the common meditation. The red color is the energy of your requests and prayers for someone. It has such a color for us to know immediately it is to be manifested, to be allocated among the beings who deal with fulfilling your clean requests. Those are the cleanest prayers that give a lot of beings, including me, great jobs to do. Although there are not many of such clean ones at the moment, as you can see, but there will be more and more of them, and I thank you so much for the present ones and also for the ones to come. I saw black energy which was piercing Jesus' body through, like the nails that he had been nailed with. It was piercing through all the beings that were with us then. I saw so many of these nails rebound from them, fall back down, but then go straight to the beings as black as this energy. The nails find their way to the beings that feed on the black energy. The beings catch those nails and hit various people, and beings with them, piercing them through. Jesus saw my astonishment and disbelief about the amount of this energy and said, "That's the energy of your insincere prayers, to have more and more of your requests and thoughts about your neighbors being hurt and harmed. That's the energy which is mostly bounced off to fall back onto you. You cannot expect that when you pray for your neighbor's harm, you will get your dishonorable request fulfilled by us. Otherwise, you will get your request fulfilled from the evil, and then it will start destroying your world, painted black, nailing yourselves to these paintings with the same nails that you had sent to your neighbors. You must understand that your prayers for someone's harm are not being fulfilled by the good beings. You should pray for your neighbor or adversary to understand, to get a chance to free himself or herself from the evil and from what you see. You must create the red energy that is capable of changing his or her painting, and then create only the blue and the golden one for you to be able to beautifully paint your space with the rainbow colors. Now you see that we cannot complain about the lack of work. That is, it's you who deliver this work to us every day. That is why a way more of the painters have been sent here, and the swap of souls together with cleansing of the primitive ones will soon take place. When you notice that your child has had its eye color changed, that your close family members speak differently, behave differently, that they love the good and speak about it, do not be afraid. It is a proof that a soul has been swapped to an inexperienced one, to the one necessary for the masterwork to be manifested. Souls do a swap with absolute approval and full harmony. They know what is now being created and willingly give way to the painters and themselves work on the other side. All this serves the process of creating the masterwork as soon as possible, and it's up to you if there are going to be only black energies forming storms and hailstones, or to be golden, red and blue ones to paint this colorful world in front of your eyes. So I'm asking you to open up your hearts, scoop up rainbow colors with your hands and start painting your world. And as beautiful our rainbow is, as beautiful our new world will be. Next he smiled at me, touched my hand, and I saw myself filling up with his wonderful, colorful energy. And he said, "Go paint this world with these colors and tell others." And he disappeared. And my soul and an energetic being touched my hands, and I saw them fill with this energy, and then we flew to the planet inhabited by energetic beings, and when that being touched this energetic planet, it started shimmering with the energy I had in myself. Later I talked to some beings about how the evil is currently attacking people, about how they combined matters, meaning alien physical beings with non-physical demonic beings. But I will write about it some other time, so that I'm leaving you now with the rainbow colors in your minds and hearts. So before we part, I would like to share with you the best gift I got: pure joy, belief, respect, smile, and love, so that you can also share those values with other people, making this masterwork given ready as soon as we can. Thank you.